Hey everyone, quick recap on where I'm sitting with the SHRM-CP exam prep. I just wrapped up studying all the knowledge domains, and I want to share some of my takeaways as well as how I'm shifting gears for the next phase. So my biggest lesson so far, the practice tests, where you're finding them. I found a bunch of YouTube practice tests that I was, binging in my spare time. If a practice question seems too easy, it probably is. Some of the quizzes I took felt way simpler than what I'm expecting on test day, so I'm being careful not to get a false sense of security here because I want the real thing to feel easier than my prep and not the other way around. So my plan moving forward, starting next week, which is Thanksgiving break, I'm going to be taking full-length practice tests, timed, structured, and as close to the real exam as I can simulate. And I'll finally have some help over the holidays with caregiving, so I'm going to take advantage of that time as much as I can. So I'm going to use Mometrics. Again, there's just one free exam that you get from there, but I haven't finished it. I've gone halfway through. I think I'm going to, now that I've studied some more, retake the full thing. Quizlet sets. I found some that have some kind of exam questions on there. Some might be better than others, so I'm going to be taking some of those. YouTube test videos. Again, there are some that I found to be a little bit too simple that made me go, oh, I'm doing really well with this. I think those questions are way too easy. And then I may even ask ChatGPT towards the end of the week to generate some custom questions based on the areas I need to drill deeper. So my strategy is simple. Day one, take a full test and study and create a list of the questions that I got wrong. Day two will be another test, but I'm going to study the issues or the areas that I missed on day one. Then day three, I'll take another new test and review the errors from day two, and I'm just going to go on through there, and I'll repeat that cycle. So I'm going to keep refining what I focus on based on the results that I'm getting. And I'll keep sharing updates as I go, especially if I find resources that are actually worth your time. Let me know in the comments what your go-to prep is and what your go-to prep tools are, or if there's any practice tests you swear by. Again, next week is Thanksgiving, so I don't expect to be able to post because I won't have my normal equipment. So I will post probably a recap at the end of next week after Thanksgiving is over and when I'm back home. In the meantime, let's go over some of the questions I took this week that I want to double click on for this video. Okay, so the first one I'm going to look at is, and I'm going to link where I got all the tests below, but question one, when transitioning from paper employment records to electronic storage, employers must follow a standardized protocol. What government agency publishes guidelines for these protocols? This one is a knowledge-based question and one that I am rusty on. I guessed the Department of Labor. That was correct, but it was a total guess. So the correct answer is B, Department of Labor. Next question we have, an organization is opening a new factory in the United States. Due to availability issues, the factory will be temporarily unable to comply with an OSHA standard regarding required safety equipment. What should the organization do? This one I'm including because I got the answer right, but the answer that they gave was open the factory without notifying OSHA and do not report any incidents associated with the standard, which is clearly wrong. The correct answer is apply to OSHA for a temporary variance from a standard due to the unavailability of required equipment. So just be careful when you're taking these tests. They may be giving you false answers that can steer you in the wrong direction. This one was an obvious one, but there may be some that you don't know and they give you an answer that's incorrect. So just be wary of these practice tests. Another one I took, which selection tool should be used to fill a vacancy that requires managing multiple priorities and working under pressure? this test said the correct answer was C, and I kind of disagree. I think it's a cognitive ability test would be the best. And when I'm looking at it, cognitive ability tests measure mental capabilities such as reasoning, memory, problem solving, comprehension, and they're best for roles that require multitasking, prioritization, critical thinking, adapting to new situations, which would kind of fit this question really well. Background check is obviously not right. Academic transcript, it doesn't really predict real world job performance or pressure handling, so there's really nothing there. But behavioral assessment could be plausible. It evaluates personality traits and behavioral tendencies. So it shows like teamwork, risk tolerance, communication style, stuff like that. It's best for gauging cultural fit, emotional intelligence, leadership style. While it gives insight into how someone might behave, it doesn't directly assess cognitive performance under pressure. And so that's why I'm kind of leaning away for that. And again, you have to think like SHRM. A lot of these practice tests, you know, if there's something that raises a red flag, feel free to double click and figure out why. But anyway, this is another one that kind of made me think, I'm not so sure that they did get the right answer here. So anyway, there was that. Okay, so that's the last bit that I want to get into for this video. I hope you all have a great Thanksgiving, and we'll see you all next week. Bye!